The more hits we play, the more hits we get. URLradio.net. You're listening to Woman Power Hour. Stacey Sturman in the studio with me once again. BodyTalk independent certified BodyTalk practitioners, Belle Nibel and Tone-Lise Stensley. I know your title gets longer every time I get back into it. You add more to your title. So by the time we do our segment, there's going to be like 85 things to your title.
Oh, yeah. We'll get that nutrition.
So now, TL, before we went to the break, you had this huge thought. You were on the verge of a huge thought, and then you lost it. Have you found your thought?
I have found my thought. And
Okay.
Belle said it's not brain fog. It's just we have all these thoughts and we're so excited and there's so much we want to convey. Anyway, I found it.
Okay.
We were talking about awareness and how
Right.
deep do you want to go?
Yeah.
How deep do you want to look? And we talked about what do we want? Do we truly want healing? Now, on the surface level, we would say, of course, I want
Right.
healing. But if we look a little deeper, what are some of the pros of the diseases we have? Are we willing to look at that possibly?
Right.
You know, I'm getting out of mowing my lawn if I'm getting out of sex with my husband if I had a headache. I mean, there could be a zillion
Right.
things.
Oh, yeah.
And so that could come up. But what I wanted to convey, and this is also coming from just taking an honest look at myself, because as practitioners, of course, we also get sessions and we also do work on ourselves. And we realize the more junk we let go of, the better we can be a catalyst.
Yeah.
So we hold a lot of conflicting wishes.
Okay.
You know, just an example, we may want to be married, but we may not want to be married. We may want to be successful, but suddenly we get so busy and we don't want to be successful.
Yeah.
We want to have much money, but then we get all these demands and the response. I mean, again, the list goes on. Mm-hmm. So part of healing can also be looked at I think of a laser. Laser is like focused light, you know, and it has amazing power. When we can reduce the amount of conflicting wishes we have, or even on the level of the organ, it can be more focused on its job. That is also healing.
Okay, so the laser coming in at a more exact point.
Well, the laser
It's very
being not
focused.
pulling in different directions.
Yeah.
One of the reasons our brain isn't working properly is because we have all these parts of our brain and they're pulling in different directions. They're not working together optimally.
Isn't that ironic that you came up with that after you had so many thoughts that you couldn't focus?
It's perfect. It's the perfect thing, really.
Oh, the irony.
So I
Yeah.
can expand on that a
Okay.
little bit, a little more simply. But I have a dear friend and a dear client. She's been supportive of me from the very start. She calls herself the SA woman, super analytical.
Okay.
So everything that comes up has to have a reason, has to have a purpose, has to know. And she chatters, because I'll use that word because it's the word she uses, throughout the whole entire session.
Yeah.
Because just going on, I literally have to focus on her not being there. It's like doing a distance session with an actual person there. That's into that. And Tone-Lise and I just started, we do a free presentation every month, and I want to start mentioning that a few times too. We care so much about getting the word out about BodyTalk that we run through our clinic an hour and a half free presentation where we explain what BodyTalk is for about a half an hour, and then we offer a free session by drawing someone's name out of the hat. And even if you're not the one that's being actually worked on that night, you are still getting the effect of the session that's on there.
Right.
So we are constantly updating this presentation, and this last time we came to a list of what our responsibility is. And two of them is explain what we can't and accept what we can't. And I think that goes along with that, so how deep you want to get. There are some of those things that you will never understand, but they
Right.
still need to come out. They still need to come up. You still have to be aware. I love the word, and you're going to get tired of it because you're going to hear it a lot that's on there. But if you are willing to work at it,
Yeah.
and to say, maybe I will have to give up television because I'm going to have so much energy, I could go walking, which would be good for me. there would be changes. So it's kind of like with those knees and those ankles and the forward movement that can come. Sometimes they come up as a priority because we are stuck and it's a rut.
Right.
And maybe what Body Talk is wanting to do for you is just jostle you out of that rut.
So now, for people who are just tuning in, they're finding out a little bit about Body Talk, but now, what kind of things can you guys help people with? What kind of ailments, what kind of things can you guys help? If they're out there listening, what can Body Talk help?
Okay, great question.
Yeah.
And initially, I just want to say, because Body Talk works on restoring your own ability to heal,
Yes.
it can potentially help with anything. But to give you some concrete examples, we've helped with allergies, anxiety, joint muscle pain or chronic pain, digestive issues is a big one, fatigue, fears and phobia, headaches, hormonal issues comes up a lot, immune system dysfunction. When either your immune is overreactive, it's attacking actually your own cells,
Right.
or it's underreactive. You get a cold like 10 times a year and something is going on.
Right.
Skin issues, mental clarity, and simply feeling better, being enthusiastic.
A lot of people don't know what that's like because they haven't had that in so
No.
long.
And
But
you
it feels good.
And if you think, after a while, what I found, with a lot of people who struggle with something for years, they think this is just something they have to live with.
Right.
And we're back to that idea that you don't have to identify with the disease. We have, Tone-Lise gave half of that list. We have the whole entire list on there.
On our website.
On our website, BodyTalkForYou.com. And the reason I stumbled, because I'm like you, my list is getting jostled onto here too.
And could
But
I add one thing before we move on?
No, we're not going to move on. Let me finish this
Okay,
sentence,
I'll let
okay?
Belle finish
It
her
goes
sentence.
with the idea that your body doesn't know any of those names whatsoever. Those are names that we as a society have given these different dysfunctions, these different diseases. The body knows one thing. It knows it has the ability to heal if it's properly balanced and properly nourished. So though we are revealing these things, we are not in any way diagnosing anything. You come and tell us a symptom, like Tone-Lise mentioned, filling out an input form, so we have an idea of who you are, but we are just helping with that natural ability to heal.
And so we have an idea of what you struggle with, not who you are in truth.
Thank you.
We
What?
touched
That's
on that
almost
earlier.
profound.
What I just wanted to mention, going back to Belle talked about our public presentations, and I just want to let you know that we have one coming up Wednesday, July 13th at 6:30. Our Body Talk office is located at Lifeways, which is on 1001 Gateway Avenue, and it's right between Wells Fargo and Comfort Suites.
It's south of Gateway Mall.
It's just south of Gateway Mall. And just give us an email, send us an email, or call our office at 751-3271 if you want to attend, because we do have limited seating, and we'd love to see you there.
And it is an hour and a half and well worth your time. Not only do we give a session to someone, everyone benefits from that session, but everyone who attends gets $10 off a session with either Tone-Lise or with me. That is our thank you for taking the time to learn more about Body Talk.
Perfect. Now, how long are sessions and how much do they usually cost?
Our sessions run, what we allot for is an hour of time, but they run anywhere from, I'd say, 35 to 45 minutes.
It varies a little bit, but usually there. 30, 40, or around 45. Yeah.
And the reason we put that,
you need.
yeah, right. The reason we put that hyphen in there is everybody is unique. I did a session this morning that lasted 18 minutes.
Wow.
The person felt fantastic.
Yeah.
And I want to stress, the length does not impact the quality of the session. It's simply what your body can deal with and need at that time.
Exactly. It's not going to go and do anything to hurt you. It's only going to do something to help you. So sessions individually are $45. We tried extremely hard to keep it to be fair because
Yeah, that's extremely reasonable.
Tone-Lise has been to a lot more than I have as far as what people charge for regular Body Talk sessions. But we also wanted people to realize that, as we were talking earlier, that first session sometimes is just the confidence session.
Yeah.
So we feel that there is always more that's needed. So we offer a 5-group session for $199. That knocks it down to $39.80 per session.
Wow, that's a great deal.
We found that to be extremely successful to take 5 sessions.
Yeah.
There is something also that helps in the body mind to know that you are going to have 5 sessions. It also, again, allows for that to be built up of what we've been working on. Allows the cortices to start to build up. It allows the healing. It allows the balancing. It allows all of that to start to saturate you when you go that many sessions.
And it, like I like to say, it creates the momentum,
Yes.
momentum of healing.
And explain. I would like to, Lisa, just talk about, she was in with some of the Body Talk practitioners that have taken quite a bit of the training, the training that's done. What was the average?
So that was, I'm currently now doing a part of Body Talk that's called Parama, which really focuses in on the brain and its more advanced modalities. And we had a training in Phoenix, and where we just came to practice and do sessions on each other and learn from each other. And so I was asking around, and what they charge for a session, and sometimes they would just do half an hour. It varied. Was roughly, the average was between 70 and 120 a session. So I've actually gotten people from, and maybe you have too, Belle, from out of state that have found us on the web, and they like our price.
Yeah.
And part of it is rent is cheaper in North Dakota, and by sharing an office, we're able to provide that at this time.
It is amazing. I have some clients in California that have started to grow a little bit because their average that they have just in their California Body Talkers, $105 per session for 40 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
So they knock themselves off at 40 minutes, too. So it's interesting. So we believe we are fairly priced for what you get.
Oh, for sure.
One thing that when it comes to other healing modalities, which is what Body Talk is, typical insurance is not going to cover it.
Right. Yep.
So just to be aware of that. This is one time when
I'm working on the Obama administration. I keep emailing them and writing them letters saying, you know what, Michelle Obama, if you're really concerned about health care, we need to start changing the whole entire system. We can't start giving people cheese and government subsidies that are going to kill them because they're so fatty and crappy that nutrition kills them. And we can't start paying, only for medicines that mask the problems and not get rid of the problems. So we need to start that reimbursement system a little bit differently.
And what I've found, and this Valtime stresses too, a lot of people who make a commitment to do a regular Body Talk session or even maintenance session once a month, they actually save in their medical bills.
Oh,
because
sure, yeah.
Some of them, with the help of their physician, we always encourage them to work with their physician, is able to reduce and sometimes stop the very expensive medicine they're on as a result, and they may have to go less frequently to a doctor or a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And we encourage other modalities as well, but it's like the more your body is balanced, and if you at the same time start maybe eating a little better because it's easier, you don't have as strong cravings, and maybe adding more water and these simple things, walking a little bit, moving a little more, it's all going to help, and it may overall help them reduce the cost.
Well, we add something to what we can help, and it's called total wellness. And I think that's exactly what we're talking about. You will hear it from both of us. We are full of suggestions, and we ask you to take them, and if you can use them, if you can fit them into your lifestyle, do it, because it just benefits you.
Now, if people want to get in on a session, how can they get a hold of you guys? How can they book a session with you guys?
Okay, you can either call Lifeways between 8 and 5, all weekdays, and the number is 701-751-3271.
And once again, you do people all over. You can do distance sessions, so even if they're not in Bismarck, they can still book a session with you.
And Lifeways, if I can interject, Lifeways has a wonderful answering service that if you decide to call after 5 o'clock, you can leave a message, and the receptionist will return the call the next day.
actually. So 24-hour service here. And you can go on our website, www.bodytalkforyou.com, with everything spelled out. And just email us, and we'll get in touch with you.
It is easy. We want to keep it easy that you can get that appointment made. And again, we man the hours, or we man the clinic for 40 hours a week. We are there from 9 until 6. Pick your day, pick your time. You'll get one of us and have the best.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in today, ladies. Next time, we're going to talk about something very interesting. We're going to talk about body talk for animals. So that's going to be coming up here next time we chit-chat. So I'm excited to learn about that.
Good. We are too.
And you've been listening to Woman Power Hour on urlradio.net.